I heard there was a queue. How you doing? Happy Saturday to everyone. It's my first gig. That's weird, isn't it? First gig, and it's on the internet. Though really it's not. Was anyone, hands up if you were at the first online gig 7 years ago in 2013? I was. It's been a fair few over the years, and it feels fitting in some ways, even though the reasons for doing it this way are big and awful and scary. It feels quite fitting to be doing my first Pen Friend gig online because it just feels right. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a correspondent. I've been having such a brilliant time getting to know you all a bit better in the forum and in comments and just by sending you stuff. So thank you. Thank you very much. Just going to lean in. I haven't got my specs on. I'm just going to lean in and see if there's any security alerts of any kind before I get started. Just people saying nice things. Alright, I'll read those later. So this one you might be able to sing along to. This is called Everything Looks Normal in the Sunshine. Keep calm, stay remote. Write your troubles on a post-it note. School's out, last orders at the bar. I'm not pleased to meet you. Don't stand so close to me. There's trouble in the supermarket, but everything looks normal. Take heart, there'll be time to celebrate. Don't second guess humanity away. Stand tall and we'll all take the weight, 'cause everything looks normal in the sunshine. Sunshine. Lights out, kids up early, not ready for a life inside. It's gonna be a quiet night, but everything looks normal. Wake up, don't be stupid. Your money won't help you now. It's too late to get your friends and neighbors round. Take heart, there'll be time to celebrate. Don't second guess humanity away. Stand tall and we'll all take the weight, 'cause everything looks normal in the sunshine. 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 Just checking what's going on. Someone's shuffling closer to the stage. Why? Hello. Hi everyone. Okay, thank you very much for bearing with me through that one. I got really nervous. I've been spending all day feeling really nervous about this gig, and you're supposed to not really say that, but I think it's foolish to lie to you. But I feel okay now. We've got started. Got a pint of vodka here to... No, never. I hope that you are all well, and thank you so much for tuning in from around the world. I tried to pick a time that would be okay for everybody, and also early enough so I can just go to bed early, because I like doing that. I like doing that anyway. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Now, if you were a super sub in 2019, you hopefully know this song. And it's one that I finished about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago. And it came about because I was standing in my kitchen making a cup of coffee, and I looked up at the ceiling. And I do find that generally in life, if you look up, you will always be rewarded. So I was looking up at the ceiling, and I noticed that that the sun was coming through the window and casting really long shadows across the ceiling of all of the plants that were on the windowsill. Now, I used to be someone who thought I couldn't grow plants, and it was kind of a badge of honour, sort of weird badge of honour, oh, I kill plants kind of person. And then I decided that I just didn't want to be that person anymore, so I started actually watering the plants that I bought instead of letting them turn into crispy things that I then left outside the back door and hoped would be taken away by foxes or something. So I started looking after them. This was in my last house. And then when we moved here, I celebrated by getting some new plants to put on the windowsill along with my older ones, and I decided to look after them all really, really well. And then they have really grown and multiplied. So there's a little bit of garden in pretty much every room. And my husband Tim has really got the bug, and his room it's amazing. It's got loads of cool plants, and we made a garden about, just over a year ago. We started making a garden in the back garden, and it's really lovely. And I know it's a great luxury to have an outside space, especially at the moment, so I'm really trying to make the most of it and use it. But this song came about because of that, and I enjoyed the fact that by being more caring to my plants, I think it's a metaphor for life. So that's what this is about. This is called Long Shadows. White flags and parachutes don't bring me peace. I won't apologize, I won't be pleased. They'll buy photography, what would we do? And in a pillowcase, inventing truth. My love casts down shadows on the ceiling, silhouettes of things I've kept alive. We're just searching for a meaning, sentimental grieving to survive. We're just searching for a meaning, sentimental grieving to survive. My love cast on shadows on the ceiling, silhouettes of things I've kept alive. We're just searching for a meaning, sentimental grieving to survive. Oh, it's so warm in here. Just like a gig. It is a gig. It is a gig. It's boiling. One of the main differences from the gigs I'm used to playing is the squealing of children outside in the back gardens of our terrace of houses. But they've been pretty noisy for the past week, so I think it's my turn. I think it's fine. And I'm the sort of neighbour who will never complain about anyone's noise because I know I've got noise to make. So it's all good. Oh, my mum said something about having something in her eye. Sorry, Mum. Here's another one that might be a bit like that. Again, if you are someone who I don't think there's anyone here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's anyone here who is not aware that I put several albums out under a different name for quite a long time. And so this song is one that hopefully you all have, and if you don't, then you can go to shemakeswar.bandcamp.com and download it for free. Make sure you've got that version of it, the demo version, because it's going to sound quite different on the album, I think. This song is called Sea Shaken. And it seems like everything I'm playing has been written in the last, how many weeks? I don't even know how many weeks it is. 9, 10, 11, 75 weeks of being in this house. I'm not sure. I was joking to Robin Ince recently when I was on one of his online shows that if you write about depression and the end of the world, then your songs will always be relevant. And so I'm finding like lines in some of these songs that just make me go, oh, did I know what was going to happen? No, I did not. But it's just that kind of that sort of theme, an evergreen theme. So if you're looking for something that will always be relevant, that's the sort of thing. And when I first started writing my sad songs, my mum came to, was it because she came to a gig? I'm embarrassing her now because she's watching. Either she came to a gig and watched me play my sad songs, or she heard a recording. And I think, pretty sure she just said, "Are you alright?" And I said yes, and the reason I am alright is because I put the things into the songs. So I'm actually, for the most part, a pretty jolly person. See, I have my I say moods, that sounds like I'm a moody person. I'm not a moody person, but I have periods of feeling incredibly awful and sad and can't do anything. And then I try to get back to a place where I can then do things, and then I do things. And mostly those things are sort of reliving that through song. So I guess that's what this is about. I wrote it again about a year ago. There's a line about, I can never remember the lines unless I'm actually singing them. There's a line about going to bed while it's light outside, and I wrote that. And I know specifically exactly what that's about. And then I realised it sounds like I have a really cool, fun, clubbing weekend situation where I'm going to bed when it's light outside, like the next day. I don't do that anymore. So it's not about that. It's actually about trying to wish away the days, which I think is just the worst. It's just such a waste. And I vowed by writing this song that I would never let myself get in a situation where I was wishing the time away because it's so precious. So this is called Sea Shaken. And then I'm going to have a look at all your comments because it sounds like you're having a nice chat without me. So. Has anyone tall come and stood in front of you yet? It's not a gig if that doesn't happen, is it? Don't know what you're on about. I used to, well, when I used to play gigs with people in the room, I would invest in contact lenses so I could see things. What's the point now? I'm at home, so I'm just going to go and squint at those in a minute. But first, I will do one more song first, actually. And this is one I have played online recently. I'm not jumping on the playing online every day thing because the Correspondence Club is giving me a full-time job making things, and also I have this podcast that I'm launching, and also I think that you can do things too much. I think it's really cool people are doing that. It just doesn't feel right for me. So I'd much rather just play to people who have an interest in what I'm doing and already like me a bit. So that's why I'm just doing correspondence gigs. But the reason I'm saying that is because, yes, I have done a couple of appearances on other people's things, and this is one of the songs that I played. And it's another one people think it's about now, so that's fine. If you think I've been sitting squirreling away writing these things recently, that's fine. But this is another one from last year. Rain on my cheeks, oh, tired of pretending I'm getting lost again. Sea legs are weak, the tide's never ending. Capsize my only friend. I'm going, nowhere. But I'll come back to you. Lift my head out of the blue. Ink on my wrist, a sign for protection. My skin, my only shield. When every note's a cry for affection, those bruises never healed. I'm going, nowhere. But It is sticky in here. I'm going to have a look and see what you're saying. If anyone's got questions, now's a really good time to ask me while old lady Laura is squinting at my screen. I should put everything, just I think I'm going to zoom in so I can just see everything like large print. 1 second. Turning this to 20 print. Oh no, I've done it wrong. Can't see what I'm doing. It's terrible. Ah. Okay, so Neil Mitchell. Hello Neil Mitchell. He said, of course I'll be there. How has the lockdown and situation affected your approach to Penfriend outside the obvious themes of the singles? Not at all, weirdly. I don't want to pretend it hasn't affected my life, because of course it has. It affects everybody's life. But in terms of the project, I decided last summer it was going to be called Penfriend, this new thing. I decided how I was going to try and explain that through weekly emails to you wonderful people, and via setting up the correspondence club and all of the elements of that. So I was planning all of that last September, October, November. And then the only thing that's changed, there's 2 things maybe there's 3 things. One of the things that's changed is my hair's got really long, which is good. I've been wanting to grow my hair back long for ages, that's fine. But my fringe is like, whoa, crazy lockdown fringe. That's one thing that because I was late getting my, is this something to talk to you about now? I was late getting my fringe trim because I'm really lazy about that stuff, because I work from home here doing music, and so I have to go all the way into town to have my fringe cut. Now, doesn't that seem like a fun adventure now? But it didn't feel like a fun adventure then, so I didn't bother going, and then now I've got this situation. But it's you know, it's okay. That's one of the things that's different from my plan. The other thing that's different from my plan is the song Everything Looks Normal in the Sunshine obviously wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for lockdown and all of the awful stuff. The single I might be putting out in August, I'm not exactly sure when, that was going to be probably in June. So there's going to be Correspondence Club for a month of fun and setting that up and getting that going and kind of rolling, and then single, and then more stuff. So it's just I've slotted something in before all the other things I was going to do anyway. In terms of plans for releasing music, it's all very open at the moment because I keep writing tons more songs, not specifically about, absolutely not about coronavirus, but just I'm just writing all the time, and so I've got way too many songs for a record, so I have to think about that. Because in the past, when I have waited too long to record something or release it, it's quite hard to keep the energy up for that thing. So yes, that's one of the things I have to be careful of. But yes, so that's the only thing that's affected the approach. I was already recording everything at home because I didn't want to go into studios anymore. I've done it for years, and it's not a sensible use of money necessarily when I can do it myself here, and I wanted to do it myself here. So last summer, you may remember, if you're on the mailing list then, I was possibly telling you about that, and it felt like a great success to be able to record everything in this room, send it over to my wonderful mix guy Dan, who I've been working with since Direction of Travel, and he mixes it for me and it sounds great. So he's done Everything Looks Normal in the Sunshine, he's did it The Only Way Out Was Through, he's done everything for this new record. So there's 7 songs completely done, and then a list as long as this arm and this arm of songs I have to figure out which to do next. So that's my next job, after I've done the podcast, which we might also talk about. Paul McGreal, hello Paul, says, do you think some songs sound better or different in a live setting depending on whether you're playing them as a solo artist or with a full band? Well, yes, because I write lots of different parts and I love them to all be playing at the same time. It's logistically really hard, even when there isn't a global pandemic and live events are kaput. It's really hard. So that's why over the years I've mostly played solo, sometimes with a band. It costs a lot of money, not even thinking about paying those people who are learning the music for you and doing you a favour by doing so. If you've got a drum kit, you need a van. That's as simple as that. So sorry to make it boring, but that's what it's about really. And the only funding that this project has is from the Correspondence Club, and that's why I'm so grateful to you, because that's the only way that this is happening. It's the only way the album is being finished is because you have decided to trust me with your, I don't know, what are you trusting me with your trust? You're trusting me with your trust. I don't know, you trust in me for some wonderful reason to make stuff and deliver you the things that you want, or you don't know you want yet because you don't know what I'm going to give you, but you know. And I'm so thankful for that, because it's just a dream. I get to do this full time, and it's because of you. So thank you, especially at the moment, thank you. And that's why I wanted to make sure the Correspondence Club had really easy in points. So there's those 2 free tiers, basically the monthly mailing list, and then there's the free version of this. And then the paying per month, you don't have to pay per month forever. You could pay for 2 months and then stop, or whatever, you know. It's whatever is comfortable for you, and that where you feel that you're getting what you want from it and what you need from it. And what's been the most exciting thing is the forum, because that was always part of the plan. I had made one that was just going to sit on the website, but then I started freaking out a few days before I launched the website. I started to get really worried that you'd all pile on and like want to put loads of images on and stuff, and that just means that my website would fall over. So I found this alternative, which I think is so much better anyway. And there's over 200 of you in there now, and we just have a chat. And I've always found it really strange that artists would make Facebook groups for themselves, because essentially what you're doing is saying, hi, I'm really great, come and tell me that, come and tell me how much you love my stuff. And of course I love it when people love my stuff, of course I do, but I don't need to be part of that conversation, you know. So what I decided was much more valuable, potentially, if people needed and wanted it, was to create a space where we could all hang out. So it's like being at the bar after the gig, but without people being rowdy, I guess. That's how I look at it. Or a really nice cafe where you could just drop in and you'll see some people you know and just have an interesting conversation about a book you just read. And that's my that's my dream online scenario, basically. Because I really don't enjoy hanging out on Twitter and Facebook anymore. And I wanted to create a space that would link you together. Because obviously when you go to gigs, not I say obviously, sometimes when you go to gigs you might make a friend, and if you keep going to the same, you know, a gig by the same artist, you might see the same people and say hi and stuff. This is just a quick and easy kind of like, let's get right in there and talk about things that we care about, and give everyone a platform, really, which is I think what Twitter was in 2007 when I started it. And I don't know, I just feel like I don't want to be showing off publicly all the time, which is what I feel that musicians and artists are kind of expected to do, but only by themselves. It's really strange. Hence the podcast as well, because that's why it's called Attention Engineer, because I feel like I don't know, there's become this sort of culture of look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, and that's exhausting. It's exhausting to see. I'm not into that. I don't need to read everybody's look at me, look at me, look at me stuff, and I don't want to write my own. And so I've explained in many blog posts and emails to you guys that like, it's just not my thing. So yeah, instead of that, just having a more long form, interesting, again, creating space for the people I think are brilliant to talk about stuff in great detail and with like kinds of questions that they don't get asked by journalists or by reviewers, because our press is, you know, minuscule now really in terms of arts press, just because of money. And anyway, this could be a long conversation that's very one-sided. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to, thinking about. I'm going to have a look at some of your questions, and I've got another 2 more songs for you, so let's have a look. Let's see. Well, you're having a good chat, so this is going to take a while. Right. Luckily, I'm good at speed reading. Aha. People can see instead of having tall people in front of them. That's good. Is Tim a musician? Tim is a concert promoter, but he also writes really beautiful songs. And he used to be in a band called Kill Cassidy, who you should look up on Spotify or SoundCloud or wherever. And just brilliant. But I didn't know that. I didn't know him before we like met and then got together. So and the band had finished by then, which is a shame because I would have loved to see him do that. That would have been great. He writes beautiful stuff, and he's now furloughed, and that's really, I mean, if any of you are furloughed, you know that it's, you know, on paper, cool, you're getting, you know, some of your wages paid and you don't have to work, but it's not that simple. It's not that, you know, none of this is simple and easy and fun and a DOS. So he's been finding that quite hard sometimes, but also has been writing loads of really good songs, and I keep giving him a little nudge going, please record those songs. So I'll keep nudging because I'd love to send them to you one day because they're really good. Yeah, he is a musician, but he wouldn't say he is. He always says he's retired, but that's silly. People say the forum is brilliant. Yes. Double album. Okay. I think that's it. You're not chatting too much. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to just have a little sip of water, and then I've got 2 more songs for you. And I'm going to be writing stuff this week coming. Would you like to know who my guests are on the podcast? Because I have this thing of I'm always keeping funny secrets, and I'm not sure I need to, but I like secrets. The first person to say yes, they do want to hear, or yes, or no, they don't, I'll respond to that. I don't know if my computer's frozen. Let's see. Oh, there's also a time lag. I forget about that. I'll just sit here for a second. You can let me know if you want me to tell you who the first 3 guests are. Because there's a clever thing you do, apparently, when you're launching a podcast for the first time, is that you publish 3 episodes at once. Because people like to binge. I like to binge podcasts too. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, please. All right. It is, episode 1 is Tanya Donnelly. Episode 2 is Mark Chadwick from The Levellers. And episode 3 is Aisha Hassan from Savages. So there. I'm going to read all your comments later. Brilliantly, I've got my phone here because my sister Julia, was watching Take That on YouTube last night. And I was talking to her about what she got from it, because it was partly live and partly not live, and obviously in this house we're talking a lot about the future of live events because that's what Tim's job is, and obviously it's partly what my job is too. So I was just quizzing her about what she thought about it, and she gave me some brilliant tips, I think not on purpose, for online gigs, and I think I've just done all of the things bad. Let's see. She said, I've watched a few tedious live things that have put me off a few artists, she says. No need for rambling. Oops. Don't need to fill every silence. Don't show us random things. Stop looking at the comments. Don't count how many viewers you have. Oh, and don't wear a fucking dressing gown. So I don't know. This is not my dressing gown, at least. Sorry, Julia, if you're watching. But thanks for the tips. Right. Now, if any of you were at my gig in Bristol last August, I played this song, and I think I ballsed it up so much that no one said anything afterwards about, oh, that new song was really good. So I'm going to try to do it slightly better now. I've really set that up well, haven't I? Yeah, these songs are new, so that's just what it is. Dispensable body, knowledge is a curse. Feel the weight of the world, feel the weight of the universe. Gotta keep moving, though that I start listening. Had a hell of a go of it. Now I'm putting my heart first. Far away, looking back from this constant illusion. high of the hurricane, you're my safe path back. Far away, looking back from this constellation, cast away, adrift on my own space station. Just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Far away, looking back from this constellation, cast away, adrift on my own space station, far away from the loneliest generation, cast away on a project of my own making. Just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Saying things. I like it when you say things. This has been great. I am so sweaty, it's unreal. I am relieved to have played new songs now, having practiced them for weeks in my room. And I'm really looking forward to getting on with some new ones as well next week. I'd really love you to come and check out this podcast. I'm glad you're excited about the guests. There's lots of really good ones. I've done 11 conversations recorded now, and I'm going to start doing more soon. I've got a really long list. And the great thing is, some of these people are really well known, but I don't think they get asked these kinds of questions very much, because they seem really pleased to talk about things in great detail. And so the episodes are probably, I'm trying to make them just under an hour long, and there's going to be a new one every Wednesday. From this Wednesday there's 3, and then the new one every week after that. And I'd love you to listen. And if you go, so you can go to penfriend.rocks/podcast, and then you can listen to the trailer, and you can subscribe on any channel that you want. I will obviously tell you about it in emails as well. I'm just so excited about it because it's something I've wanted to do for ages, and it's happening. So that's good. If you do stuff happens. It's my motto. I won't ramble on anymore because my sister told me that's really not the done thing for live gigs on the internet. But thank you so much for coming along. Thank you for being a correspondent. It means so much to me to have you powering this thing. And I know that it's easy to feel like our individual actions don't have bigger actions, but in so many ways they do. And this is one of the small ways that you are making some really cool stuff happen for me, and I'm really grateful for it, so thank you. And I can't wait to share new stuff with you, and I will keep doing so. I had a bit of a wobble this morning about I'm sending too many things and people will just feel like they've heard too much from me and I get bored. And I was just like, no, because I think you are all aware that you can opt in or opt out of any of this stuff. It's there for you if you want. You don't have to listen to my monthly voicemail ramble thing, and you don't have to read every email I send you. I don't expect that. But I think for me it really helps me to have those regular things where I turn up and I do the thing I do, because a lot of my time is spent alone. Even before all this, a lot of my time is spent in this room, which is lovely, and I love being in this room doing stuff. And it's just really nice to occasionally go, hey, I've done a thing, and you might enjoy it, or hi, how are you? And so I really love popping up on the forum and having a chat and asking you questions about your lives and your music fan lives and the things that you do that are creative. And it's just really to encourage all of us to do stuff and take those individual actions if we want to, because I think we could all do loads of really interesting things. And so it's a great privilege to be part of that group that's on the forum and part of this group that is all of you. So thank you very, very much. And this is a song that hopefully you also know because I gave it to you. If you haven't downloaded all of your freebies yet, get on with it. This is a song that they're all about the same thing in a way. Like, they're all just about having a really hard or sad time and then trying to get through it and trying to remind myself that I can get through things. And so this is called The Only Way Out Is Through. Let me turn off this. I don't need delay on this song, I don't think. So sing along if you know it. And that's how it goes. So thank you very much. I think I can come and reply to comments afterwards. I haven't used this system before. If I can, I will. If not, let's hang out in the forum later. Yeah, thank you very much, and have a lovely weekend. Hold on. Such a pro. It's lucky that gig with Peter Buck didn't happen, really, isn't it? Right, here we go. Oh my god, what's going on? Gremlins, it's so hot. Gotta get out of this, making a meal of this stress. Daytime listening to the bone, thunder clouds in every home. Gotta get out of this. The only way out is through. Drowning in yesterday's tears, in time conspiracies, Vader's voices pull at me. Gotta get out of this. Thank you so much. First pen friend gig done. Alright, and this was my set list. Alright, I'm going to go now. Have a wonderful weekend. It's time for me to have some ice cream. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Lots of love.